Hello, everybody. This is Hua. Welcome back to my YouTube storytelling channel. I'm here to share with you the latest story that I'll be releasing sometime this week. It is called The Bodyguard and the Courtesan. The year is 1420, and Waylon Chang is the king's royal bodyguard and frontline soldier. He was raised within the palace walls and given merit when he became of age. The written guideline has always been that the king arranges the marriage for all of his royal bodyguards, and so enters Samara King, the prime minister's daughter, who is of royal blood and speaks eloquently of poetry and music, but acts on impulses and emotions. So the first time that Samara sees Waylon, she falls in love and fights to be his bride. But in a brothel down from the kingdom palace is Maisie Ly, the local courtesan who Waylon has been keeping at his side for a long time. It is said that you can buy a courtesan's freedom if you give enough to her master. But with the wages that he earns, he can't ever buy her freedom. But what Waylon doesn't know is that the farmer's son, Kaiden, is one who is very much in love with Maisie. And because both are commoners, they can marry, whereas if Waylon were to take on a courtesan, he would surely lose his head. So let's listen to a short peek of the story, and I hope that you will enjoy me soon for its release. And as always, thank you for your support, and I appreciate all of you. The lights were dimmed when Waylon Chang entered the room, and the smell of vanilla and jasmine hit his nostrils. On the bed was a red sash with gold coins sewn all around, and a pair of sandals that were upturned. He set down his sword and removed the heavy armor from his body, dropping it onto the ground. A light flickered, and he turned to catch a curvy body sitting up behind the thin sheets that veiled the bedroom from the other side. Curls cascaded down her back, and he knew those curls on his fingers. "My lord?" she asked, her voice soft and seductive. "Is that you?" Waylon smiled as he moved about and came to the other side where she was sitting in bed. A thin white gown covered the body he knew all too well. Her lips were swollen, and there was a bruise on her left wrist. When she saw that he noticed it, she hid her arm behind her. There was a mess of clothes near the edge of the bed, and on the top was a man's tunic that had been left behind. "Who is here?" he asked, jealousy coursing through him. "No one," she whispered as she tucked a curl behind her ear. He picked up the tunic and tossed it onto the ground. She eyed it and then looked up at him, her soft brown eyes filling up with sadness. "Maisie, how many times do I have to tell you? Come away with me and get rid of this life. I hate it when I come here and you reek of another man." She wrapped her arms around herself. "Then do not come here." "Are you trying to fight with me? I have just walked off the battlefield with my body intact, while others have lost limbs. I was hoping to come here for a hot bath and some quiet time with you." Maisie looked up and shoved her hands through her hair. "What do you want me to say, my lord? While you are absent, I must keep a job that feeds my belly. I am not born of royal blood, and I must fend to make ends meet. If you do not like sharing me, perhaps you should pick another maiden who is more pure. Society balls are all around town, my lord. Have your pick." Waylon reached over and grabbed her ankles, pulling her forward, and she shrieked. When she brought her hands up to stop him, he captured both in one hand and shoved her down on the bed. Leaning down on her, he ran a finger down her cheek. "Have my pick? I have picked you, Maisie, and that is what I want. But how can I be freed of jealousy when I turn my back and all the men in this kingdom lay their coins at your feet to bed you? I hate the idea of who was here before me and who will come after me." Maisie tried to shove him off, but failed, and a smile came across her face. "You will never know, will you? He may be someone you have killed while in battle, or another man you will be sharing a pint of mead with. Do you find this comical, to mock my pain?" Smiling, she replied, "Of course not, my lord, but it does give me a small bit of satisfaction that I can make you feel so envious." He let her hand go and kissed her deeply before asking, "Who came here? Did he hurt you?" She turned her face away. "No matter if you know or not, you cannot do anything about it. He will return, and I must please him." Waylon hung his head and let out a breath. "With the pay I earn, I shall never buy you freedom, I fear." So join me soon, and I hope that you will enjoy The Bodyguard and the Courtesan. Thank you so much for all of your support.